Chicago's beauty attracts more than 40 million visitors a year. The city offers more than 200 theaters, a magnificent mile of high-end shops, and 26 miles of lakefront. But that busyness and beauty also brings an ugly side to the big city.
We've got officers that really care.
Chicago police are working to solve more than 220 missing person cases, and a growing number of those are children being trafficked for sex.
It just gets to me sometime. Not sometime, all the time, trying to rescue these kids in the condition that they're in. Dehydrated, you can see the ribs. Just standing there, no shoes. Eyes bloodshot red, body been abused.
Fighting this crime wave takes more than a gun and a uniform. You need street perspective. That's where community activist Andrew Holmes and former cop Carlos Rodriguez come in.
When we're on the street with working side by side with the Chicago Police Department, providing them with information that they know that there are children involved. And you know, a police officer will take a lot of calls, but when it's a child, that's a sore spot for any police officer.
Both now work as private investigators with Morrison Security.
She fits the physical description of a 14-year-old that might be missing out there.
And they lead the firm's volunteer effort to rescue victims of sex trafficking.
Carlos and Andrew Holmes, you know, they're the rock stars. They're the real rock stars of this whole thing. They're my heroes, and I always tell them that.
Sean Morrison owns the business and doesn't charge victims' families for the search and rescue.
We seem to have been called to this, and we do look at it as a calling. People say, why do you do this? And my response has always been, if we don't do it, who is going to do it?
We have a phone center. It's 1-800-YOU-TELL-US. And a lot of people call our phone center because they don't want to call the police, because they're afraid.
On our visit,
now, were you able to run that through our photo recognition?
they take a call about a missing 16-year-old. After talking to police,
We figured we try to take this guy down, rescue these kids first.
and scouring online sex ads.
She was on this morning, this girl, and if you look at the pictures of her, her body's not even developed yet.
They follow a lead to a nearby hotel.
Have you seen this gentleman coming in here late at night or late in the evening times?
And when somebody calls us and says, my child's missing, we can't go, okay, well, we'll get back to you tomorrow. You know, we have to drop whatever we're involved in, and we need to address it immediately.
One day after receiving that call, Carlos and Andrew tracked down the missing girl
Give me 5 minutes and look out the window.
at an abandoned house on the city's south side.
You've been staying here a while, haven't you?
This is what it looks like inside what's known as a trap house.
There's a bed back here. So they'll come up here. This is where they sleep at night. It never gets old because there's always another one. But to deliver her hand in hand to her family, oh, it means so much to me. It's mean glory to me. My prayers have been answered.
Andrew reunites this victim with her uncle.
How am I feeling right now? I feel so blessed right now. My daughter just graduated yesterday, and just to find her is just another blessing in itself.
This day's happy ending becomes the latest of more than 85 rescues performed by the security firm.
Our first mission is to rescue these children from off the streets and get them back to their families or get them into an environment where they have safety. Our second mission is to educate.
All of this is private. This is off limits. All of this is off limits.
Just hours later, Andrew heads again to the city's south side, this time warning children at the Southside Worship Center about the danger.
We had no idea that it was happening right here. Had no idea.
The church's pastor, Titus Lee, makes it his mission to teach the children and adults in his congregation. He even turned a Wednesday night Bible study into a workshop on sex trafficking.
I realized that if the church is silent, we're going to lose more young people. We must be vocal, we must be proactive, and we must engage.
The pastor and father of young daughters says his eyes are certainly more watchful.
When I look at a girl walking alone now with her head down, I wonder, is she one? Where's her home? Is she out here wandering, or where is she? Is she under someone else's control? Or is she headed that way without intervention? You know, when I see them on their cell phones scrolling now, who are they communicating with. It's reality. They're victims and probably victimizers. Could be right in community and or in the church.
And while Morrison Security has rescued several victims in his church's neighborhood, many potential targets remain across the city.
They cover the whole spectrum from A to Z as far as background goes, you know, educated, some are not educated, you know, some are middle-class families. We even have law enforcement personnel.
Human trafficking is a speeding train, moving faster than even police can track. And they say its profit engine could soon overtake the drug trade. Ephraim Graham, CBN News, Chicago.